Hey everybody, it's Tim with the GymCrafter training channel, back with another vlog update on my journey from being a fat and out of shape 55-year-old to hopefully one that isn't going to grow old and be still fat and out of shape. It is Monday, February 22nd. It is Monday, February 2nd, 2026. I just finished week 3 of my training plan and kind of this journey here. And I want to check in with you guys. A couple cool things happened this week. Number one, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I really been thinking about this a lot this past week. What we're doing is, the reason I say this is week 3 and this is my check-in video. It's not week 3 of 12. It's not week 3 of 52. It's week 3 of the rest of my life. And something I've been thinking a lot about as I question some of my choices and as I drive past the drive-throughs I so desperately want to go eat at still. Yes, the challenge is real, folks. I really miss my McDonald's breakfasts. What I realize is that I'm not doing a program. This is something that I talk to clients about a lot, which is we are not doing a 12-week program to get in shape. I think a lot of people, they get in with the vacation mindset, I call it, which is I've got a vacation coming up, or I've got a wedding coming up, or I've got this event coming up in 3 months. So I'm just gonna knock this out and get myself in shape in the next 3 months for this event. And then they go right back to living how they used to live and usually end up worse than they were before. And that's if they can even make a change over 3 months. We really tend to overestimate what we can do in 12 weeks, and we underestimate what we can do in a year or two, especially if we're talking about consistent work. So one thing that I want to reemphasize to everybody out there who's taking this journey with me is that we're building a life. We're not working a program, right? The things that I'm doing and the things that I'm coming back and checking in with you guys about every week are things that are going to be a part of my life going forward. And I've talked about before, some things are forever and some things are for now. I'm not going to track calories forever, but I am going to track them for now. But the zone 2, 3 times a week, that's a forever thing. The resistance training at least a few times a week, that's a forever thing, right? That's a habit that we're building into our life. This is something that we have to get used to doing all of the time. It's not going to end at some point. And I think that when you look at it that way, number one, at first it gets a little depressing. And that's what I was thinking about this week is it's like, am I really going to have to force myself to be at the dog park for 45 minutes? There's just some days when I'm in a hurry. I have other stuff to do. Can't I just make it 15 minutes today? And I've even had those thoughts over the last week, like, oh, what's 20 minutes less? What's the big deal, right? And the idea is that if I want my heart to look good when I'm 65, or even now when I'm 55, that I need to do these things regularly, and I need to stop looking at when am I going to get there, right? Like the getting there isn't the thing we're doing this for. It's the journey along the way that we're trying to build, and we're trying to build a life that allows us to do all of the things in life that we want to be able to do. So, and I've said to you guys a bunch in these check-ins so far that this isn't a race. This last week was my coach's turn to say that to me as I was complaining about some things, and his response was, "Hey Tim, this isn't a race. We're not trying to get there, right? We're not trying, there's no finish line. There's no end. Like we're just trying to work this process and just trust the process. So if you're getting discouraged, and even though it might sound weird that in week 3 we're getting discouraged, when you look at most studies of New Year's resolutions, most people by the 3rd week in January, something like 60 to 80% of all people who have made a New Year's resolution have already quit it by the 3rd week in January. So not surprising. That's how I felt over the last week. So my coach had to remind me that, hey, this isn't a race. I'm also already more than thankful at the not small amount of money I paid to hire a coach. The accountability is already paying off. I would have skipped several of my zone 2 days. It's continues to be cold here in Chicago. It continues to be miserable to go outside some days. I don't like walking on the walking pad that I've got here in the office. I do when I have to, but it's not an enjoyable thing. So I would have skipped. I really would have. So again, find yourself, if you haven't yet, find yourself an accountability partner, hire a coach, get somebody that requires you to check in with them. There's lots of different ways to do that, but find someone who can do it. For those of you with kids, you know this. If you tell your 8-year-old, hey, make sure mom or dad does this, They will be relentless little buggers. Now, I don't have kids, but I do have nieces and nephews, and I do work with kids at church and some other volunteer capacities. And I know that those kids are relentless. Like they aren't going to take excuses from you. So they might be, your 8-year-old might be your best accountability partner if that's what you have to resort to. But I am really, really thankful for my coach. Some other things is the gym felt really, really good this week. 3 weeks in, I'm always reminded this is also when clients tend to start going, oh, this isn't terrible, right? Like the first couple weeks of training, especially strength training, if you haven't done it, are not the most pleasant things in the world. It's difficult, it's hard, it's painful. The third week is when you start going, oh, this isn't too bad. Like this is actually can be an enjoyable thing. For me, I love it. You will learn to love it. And I'll talk about that a lot about if you don't like doing certain things, how do you fall in love with it? How do you begin to like it? Because if you're going to do it forever, you're going to have to like it. Nobody's going to do things they hate forever, right? Those are the things that you do for now, not the things that you do forever. But that felt really good. My muscle memory is coming back. So, muscle memory, for those of you who haven't trained before, what that is I've spent most of my life lifting weights off and on. So what happens is once you build a certain amount of muscle, when you take time off, your body pares that muscle down. Your body is an adaptation machine. When it looks at your body and says, hey, this guy is not doing anything that requires this much muscle, it gets rid of the muscle you're not using, right? So it goes away. But the nice thing is if you've already built it, then when you get back in the gym, that amount of muscle that you built before actually comes back relatively quickly. And this will come into play in a couple of ways. But number one, it was nice to see that my strength is increasing really, really quickly right now as that muscle memory kicks in and as I regain the muscle that I had before and start to build some muscle that I had lost from taking time off. So that was really, really cool. And keep in mind that those strength gains, if you are new to strength training, you're going to be able to get something what's called newbie gains, which is really cool. I wish I could go back and get those again. You will gain muscle fairly fast, right? Like it's going to be easy for you to put on strength. And again, guys, for anybody out there who hears me talk about resistance training, who thinks we're training you to be a bodybuilder, we are absolutely not training you to be a bodybuilder. Look, if you just happen to look like a bodybuilder by lifting weights, then most guys in the world would look like bodybuilders, and we don't. It's extraordinarily hard to do that, but it is something that it is easier at first, and it's also easier at first if you're coming back to lifting as well. So that was pretty cool. And my stability, which I talked about last week, I'm feeling very, very stable now. So we're doing a lot of lunges and split squats as part of my training. And lunges, especially if you've got dumbbells in your hand, can be a little bit difficult to keep your balance. And I'm finding now that my balance is back, that my ability to step forward and step backward with weights without kind of falling over and things like that is back. And it's really nice to feel that stability. And the nice thing is that I'm feeling that stability in life. What you want to look for as you start to strength train, and something that I forgot about was how much strength training translates to ability in real life. So when I'm out walking my dogs in the woods and I'm jumping over logs or climbing up and down hills, what I found even this early in the game, after just 3 weeks, I'm finding that my ankles are more stable, that my knees are more stable, that I'm more able to climb over stuff. I'm more able to climb up and down things. And the stability that I'm building in the gym is translating itself to real life. I play competitive disc golf. That is a sport that, like regular golf, requires you to transfer energy from the ground up your body into the disc that you throw. And I'm finding that I'm already throwing the disc a little bit farther with a little bit more control because the stability is back in my body. And this is a win that I want you guys to look for. As you start to do your zone 2 training and as you start to do your resistance training, and follow the channel, because I'm going to be putting up playlists on how to do all this stuff, right? Like I don't want you on your own. I want to give you all the resources. I can just only make so many videos at a time, but I'll go over all that stuff with you. But as you do those things, one of the best ways to keep yourself coming back for more and actually enjoying them is realizing and noticing the results that you see in your everyday life. You might find that it's easier to pick up your kids, or it's easier to pick up your grandkids, or it's easier to bring in the groceries, or it's easier to do something you couldn't do before. It's easier to bend down and tie your shoes. So all of these things are little wins that come from the training. And I really noticed some of those this week, specifically stability. As far as challenges go, one of the challenges I had, and this is something I had to ask my coach about, and this is where he said it isn't a race, is I really pushed back on the 4,000 calorie a day goal. Right now, if you haven't followed the whole series, my coach has got me on a goal of 4,000 calories a day, which is down 2,000 calories a day from what I used to eat. So significant change, but still a lot of calories, right? Especially if you want to lose weight, and 200 grams of protein. And I haven't lost any weight yet. I'm I finished up week 3. The scale is the same. So, yeah, so I kind of pushed. So that's been a challenge is I've been wanting to eat less and just because I want that scale to move. And this is where it's really important to trust the process and it's really important to trust your coach. We're keeping me where I'm at. I'm going to trust him that he knows what he's doing. And as a trainer, this is one of the most frustrating things for me with clients is I know what works and what doesn't work. And when people second guess and go, "Oh, but shouldn't we be doing this? It should be." You hired a coach. If you hire a coach, then you need to trust that coach and do what they say to do, and just trust in the process. Especially only after 3 weeks. 3 weeks is not a long enough time to make a judgment of is this system effective or not, right? But that's been a serious challenge. Another serious challenge is we've had more negative degree weather here. I like winter. Actually, I'm a goofball. I like winter. I like the snow. I like the cold. I don't like it when it's minus 10 degrees outside. I don't like it when it's minus 20 or 30 wind chill. So, more days when it's been hard to get outside and more days where I've had to spend inside doing my zone 2. But that's definitely been a challenge. Trying to find YouTube videos that are like 45 minutes long so that I can just go, okay, put the video on, get on, and I watch a lot of golf videos, so I can find like a golf video or a disc golf video that's that long, and just okay, I'm stuck on the treadmill until the video's over. But that's been an issue. And then I have failed on the drive-through challenge again twice. You know, one of the reasons I'm making these videos is to show you guys that I'm just a normal guy, that I fail a lot. Like I suck at a lot of stuff. And apparently, what I thought was going to be an easy challenge for me of staying out of drive-throughs is not as easy as it seems. I found myself in a drive-through at night twice. Now, not for breakfast anymore, but again, for basketball games. I do coach high school basketball. We've had some late games that are far away, and I've been super hungry, and I've looked down at the protein bars that I brought with me, and I'm like, that's not food. So the good news is that I did show self-control in those drive-throughs. No French fries, no onion rings, no apple pies, no brownies, which were always part of my drive-through trips. I tried to stick to just like I think once I got a double quarter pounder with cheese. It's a pretty high protein meal. It's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's not terrible. I did stay within my calories and my protein, but I do want to share with you guys when I do fall down, and I fell down twice. And in the drive-through, I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like I would even between when I ordered and when I got to the pay window, I'm like, you could drive away. You could drive away right now and nobody would know. But I did fail there twice. So that is still a challenge for me. So I'm still looking for ways to really stay out of the drive-through 100% of the time. I talked to my coach. He wasn't super hard on me about it. He just said, look, as long as you're staying with, he goes, I didn't tell you to stay out of the drive-throughs. You told you to stay out of the drive-throughs. He goes, I told you to stay under 4,000 calories and eat 200 grams of protein a day. And as long as you're doing that, I'm cool with whatever you do. So that was good that he was cool with me that way. And sometimes I tend to be a lot harder on myself than I should be. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention to you guys and just also reassure you that, look, I'm going to share with you guys the real deal of what's going on as we go on through this whole process. And I am going to probably find myself in other areas of failure in the future. But again, I want you guys to see that you don't have to be perfect to do this. You don't have to be perfect to make progress and to build your fitness and health. As far as wins go, this week was awesome in the gym. I was able to push much harder in the gym. I really liked it. I talked about the stability gains, the muscle gains, which meant I was able to push harder. I like lifting an amount of weight that challenges me. So I enjoy those last couple of reps where you kind of have to grind it out. You really have to focus on your form. So I was able to do that this week and I loved it. The zone 2 is feeling great once I'm done. I won't tell you it's enjoyable during. It's something I'm going to have to find a way to enjoy more than I do currently. The first half hour is fine. Again, I love being at the park with my dogs. It's that last 15 minutes. But the nice thing is that there's a reward there now that wasn't there before, which is before for the first couple of weeks when I finished, I was like, oh man, am I glad that is done. And now I actually feel really good when I'm done. Like I'm energized, I'm awake, I feel good, I feel light on my feet. So that's been a really big win. Another win is I have not skipped a workout in 3 weeks. I've done all of my zone 2 days. I've done all of my strength training days. I haven't missed a day. So that's good as well. I think that's back again, partially to the accountability of having a coach, but that has been a nice win as well. And I am getting better at food prep. So here's what's helped for those of you who are going to try this as well. So for me, food prep is critical so that I don't go through those drive-throughs. And both of those times I went through the drive-through, I was out of my food prep stuff. So for me, I need to start making enough. I've been making enough for like 4 lunches or 4 dinners, and I really need to just make enough for the whole week. So that's one thing. I don't mind eating the same thing every day, but I could see that being a challenge for some people. But for me, finding a meal that I like has really helped. So for me, I found some lunches that I like, I found some dinners that I like, and making those and looking forward to them because they taste good and I enjoy them. That's really helped. I'm still not great at it. The other thing that I found that meal prep has really helped me with is I'm a Gen Xer. So I was raised, I don't know if this is specific to Gen X, but I know that my generation was you weren't allowed to leave the dinner table until your plate was empty because there's starving kids in China. So that was how I grew up. So as an adult, if I cooked food, I just ate whatever I cooked till it was gone. So if I haven't made hamburger helper in forever. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but if I made hamburger helper, I would just eat the whole box of hamburger helper. If I made mac and cheese, I would just eat the whole box of mac and cheese. Like for me, I'm like, well, it's still there, so I got to finish eating it. With meal prep, and it wasn't that I was hungry for that much. It was just that I would just been so conditioned my whole life to just eat all of it that's in front of me. That meal prep has really helped me because the portions are right. The calories are right, the protein's right, and there's not extra for me to eat, right? So that has been super helpful. It's something I wasn't expecting, but the portion control of meal prep is something that I think will really help me in the long run. So that's what I got for week 3. That's where I'm sitting at. Hopefully you guys, if you're doing this with me, or if you're just dipping in at a future time sometime and kind of following this series along, hopefully things are going well with you as usual. If you've got any questions at all, post them in the comments below. I always answer those within a day or two usually. And thanks for watching. And until next week's check-in, I'm Tim with the GymCrafter Training Channel.